Thank you to Trade for sponsoring today's episode. A really good way of just starting your morning is by upgrading your coffee subscription service. It can boost your energy, save you money by brewing at home. Trade is a subscription coffee service that pairs you up with some of the best roasters in the country and introduces you to some of your favorite coffees that you don't even know existed yet. So what we got this month? Ooh, hot shot espresso, there we go. Now you're talking my language. Can make some espresso martinis with this. The most important part of my morning is my coffee because it gives me the fuel that I need to start achieving the goals that I want to achieve, and I cannot do that bleary-eyed. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to walk my dog. The first thing that I do is make a beeline to the kitchen to make my coffee, and with Trade, I have a new coffee every single month. Every single one that they've given me has been right on point, and I have never had a hiccup in my coffee needs. So if you guys like coffee and you like our channel, this is a really good way to support us by supporting Trade. Not only do you get great, delicious coffee delivered to your house every month, but you will also help the educated barfly's dreams come true. So head on over to drinktrade.com/barfly to get your free bag of coffee with any subscription. That's drinktrade.com/barfly, or click the link in the description below. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Educated Barfly. Today we are doing 5 more Moden Classic cocktails. This is volume 4. All of them very simple drinks that should be in your rotation, especially if you're like me and you love to host friends and make cocktails at home. I'd say more, but really, what more is there to say? Let's just get into making the drinks. The Mezcal Mule was created by Jim Meehan, legendary bartender who co-created and previously co-owned PDT, which is a bar in New York City called Please Don't Tell. This recipe calls for a specialized version of ginger called ginger wort, all right? So Meehan created this thing that's just a really inventive way of adding in the raw materials that make up ginger beer. This cocktail is fantastic, it is light, it is bright, it is very inventive, and I think you guys will really like it. So the first thing that we've got to do to make this drink is to make the ginger wort in the recipe. In distilling, wort is a liquid made in the mashing process. When grains are mashed and combined with water that is then heated, the mashing allows enzymes in the malt to break down starch into sugars. The malty liquid resulting from this process is called wort. So basically, like I said, we're making the liquid that, if allowed to ferment, would then become ginger beer. So to make the ginger wort, you're gonna need like a small container. You're gonna need half a cup of minced ginger, and you know, the smaller you mince it, the more of a juice extraction you'll get. I didn't mince this, you know, super small because I'm lazy, but you know, if you wanted to, you could. You're gonna need a measuring cup, and you're gonna need some brown sugar to kind of complete the process. So literally what we do is we just take the ginger and we put it inside our vessel, like so. So I'm just gonna add in a cup and a half of boiling water. And then we're just gonna cover this and let it sit for 90 minutes. So once your 90 minutes is up, this is what you're gonna have. It's going to have all the ginger have extracted out into the water, and then you'll actually also see like a thin sheen of starch from the ginger. And we're going to strain, and then we're going to put the ginger pieces in here, and we're just gonna press it to just release as much of the liquid as we possibly can into our water. Then we're just gonna add in 20 grams of light brown sugar. You know, of course you wanna fully dissolve it. And then we're gonna do 3/8 of an ounce of lime juice. And there you have your ginger wort. All right, so for the cocktail, grab our tin here, and we're just gonna do 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, 1/2 an ounce of agave, 3/4 of an ounce of passion fruit puree, 1 ounce of our ginger wort. And for the passion fruit, make sure you use puree, not syrup. You want it to be tart, not sweet. And there's a really good brand that I like that I find on Amazon called Funkin'. If you want to order some, link is below. And then we're gonna do like 4 cucumber slices. Then of course, we're gonna take a muddler, we're gonna mash up those cucumber slices. And last but certainly not least, we're gonna do 1.5 ounces of mezcal. All right, in our tin, add some ice. We're gonna add some ice to our glass as well. And give this guy a nice hard shake. And then we're going to strain into our glass, so. Garnish with a couple cucumber slices. And then a pinch of chili or cayenne. Oh my God, that is so flavorful. Kind of spicy. Not overly gingery though, but you get that spice. It works so well with the mezcal and that kind of light medicinal, somewhat smoky, kind of agave flavor that you get. Spice is kind of doing a nice little thing on the back of my palate as well. And then the passion fruit with the warming tones of the agave nectar just really balance each other out really nicely. It's really nice how the sugar is balanced in this cocktail because you are getting some sugars from that ginger wort for sure. You definitely have a little bit of sugar in the passion fruit puree, right? Just the natural sugars that are in passion fruit. And then you have a little bit of the agave that's balancing everything out really nicely. This is a fantastic drink. It is a wonderful take on a mule. Very, very inventive and super easy. So there it is, guys, the Mezcal Mule. Eeyore's Requiem was an early menu cocktail at Chicago's Violet Hour. It was created by Milk and Honey alum Toby Maloney and is an exploration of the Negroni template, flipping the Campari with the gin for the base of the cocktail and making it decidedly bitter forward. This is a very inventive cocktail, and I think you guys are really gonna like it. So in a mixing glass, we're gonna do 1.5 ounces of Campari, 1 ounce Dolin Blanc vermouth, 1/2 ounce of gin, 1/4 ounce Cynar, 1/4 ounce Fernet, and really I should have done this first, but 1 dash of Ango and 1 dash of Regan's bitters. Crack that first cube, crack that second cube, add some more ice in, good healthy amount of ice, and give it a stir, about 45 seconds. You can tell that you're done stirring when the outside of the glass frosts very nicely. Although, I guess if you're chilling your mixing glass, which you should be, then it's gonna be harder to tell if it frosts. So let's just stick with 45 seconds or so. Ooh, look at that color. I'm gonna give this a nice orange twist. It's kind of a delicate peel, man. All right, cheers. Let's drink it. You know, this drink seems like it has too many bitters, too many contrasting flavors, too many competing flavors, but it is so well balanced and you really taste the sum of its parts. The gin bringing in some botanicals, the Cynar bringing in botanicals, the Fernet bringing in this like kind of bitterness, this sort of bitter mintiness on the finish. The Dolin Blanc is kind of light and sweet with a little bit of those botanicals. The Campari bringing in some intense orangey bitterness. And then of course you get the orange oil on top of it all, really giving you this nice citrus pop to begin with. It's not as deep in flavor as you would think, although it is very deep in flavor, if that makes sense. It's not as strong and punchy as you would think that it would be, but it has this nice bright acidity to it, and then all of those kind of complex flavors from the Amaros and the bitters just kind of playing out on your palate as you swallow. It's fantastic. So there it is, guys, the Eeyore's Requiem. The Jasmine was created by bartender Paul Harrington at the Townhouse Bar in Emeryville, California. It was created one night when a regular asked Harrington to make him something he'd never had before. Taking inspiration from the Pegu Club cocktail, Harrington took the template and split the curacao in the recipe with Campari and Cointreau and subbed in lemon for lime juice. He named the cocktail after his regular, discovering years later that he'd misspelled his friend's last name, which does not have an E at the end. So in our tin, we're gonna do 3/4 ounce of lemon juice, 1/4 ounce Campari, 1/4 ounce Cointreau, 1.5 ounces of gin. I'm gonna do this in a Nick and Nora, as it is a little bit smaller volume. And give it a strain. All right, give it a little lemon twist. Make this one a little more interesting, huh? I don't know if this peel is gonna stay that way because it's very floppity. All right, here we go. Cheers. I'm like, it's pretty good. A lot of people say this cocktail tastes like grapefruit juice. It is obviously very gin forward. You get those botanicals. The lemon juice, Cointreau, and Campari turn out to be very tart and a little bit bitter. 1/4 ounce of Cointreau is really not giving you enough sugar inside the cocktail. This is a daisy category drink, but what's funny is that honestly, I don't know if it really needs the sugar. I kind of like that it's really bright and tart and a little bit bitter on the finish. And I'm really not missing, the simple syrup. It's gonna be a little bit different in its texture because the simple syrup kind of gives it like a silkiness that this is missing. This is gonna be a lot more sharp, but I really like it. So there it is, the Jasmine. Created by legendary bartender Dick Bradsell in London around 1984, the Bramble is just such a popular cocktail. It's so simple, it's so pleasing, it's surprisingly complex. Today we're going to be making this drink with a house-made creme de mure, which is a blackberry liqueur for those of you that don't know, but feel free to use a commercial version if you'd like. For those adventurous souls who want to make it themselves, click the link above. You can also skip the creme de mure and muddle fresh blackberries into the bottom of the glass for a fresh take on this one. This drink is incredibly simple. We're just going to take our tin here, and we are going to add in 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, 2 ounces of gin. So, Scotia pebble ice in the tin. Shake until the pebble ice is gone. And this way we're getting the right amount of dilution and we're chilling our cocktail down. And we're just going to ungated pour right into the glass. Dump it right in. Fill with pebble until it's just about full. And we're going to take our creme de mure here and 1/2 ounce of our creme de mure. We're just going to put it on top like so. Give this guy a snow cap. And I also like to do a little lemon peel zest. We're going to discard the zest. All right, let's do this. Cheers. So bright and lemony, you get all the gin, those nice botanicals, you really taste that juniper. It's almost as if the lemon is amplifying the juniper a little bit. You can taste all those other botanicals, angelica root, cardamom, and then you get the lemon. It has that like front end balance from the simple syrup to kind of take the tartness down, but then the real balance comes in as the creme de mure starts to mix in. And the creme de mure that I do is a wine-based creme de mure. So it's blackberry with some kind of more full-bodied wine in there and sugar, and it's just bringing in a little bit more complexity. It is just fantastic. So there it is, guys, the Bramble. The Kill Devil was created by Aaron Williams for the Pegu Club in New York City. This drink combines a lot of in-the-know bartender favorites such as chartreuse and agricole rum. It's a very nicely dressed up, elegant cocktail with a little tiki bar pyrotechnics, and it just nicely melds the world of like tiki kitsch and serious cocktailing. All right, in a glass, I'm gonna do 3 dashes of Angostura bitters, 1/4 ounce of rich Demerara syrup, 1/2 ounce of green chartreuse, and 2 ounces of Le Favorite agricole rum. Marius asked a very good question. Does it have to be Le Favorite agricole rum? I'm using Le Favorite because I have some, and that is what the cocktail was originally made with. When I'm making other people's cocktails, I like to try and find those products that they used so that I can taste as close to the original version as I can. But if you want to switch out the agricole rum for another brand, you can absolutely do that. Just make sure that it is the light agricole rum and not the Vou agricole rum. And then of course, even though agricole rum is very, similar, it will change the flavor of the cocktail a little bit when you change brand to brand, but it should work. Crack our first ice, crack our second ice, put some ice into our glass like so, and give it a whirl. Let's give it a little strain here. And this is what we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna do a little pyrotechnics. This cocktail does not disappoint. We're gonna take a lime coin like so, and we are going to squeeze the oils over the drink like so. Originally, this was Wray and Nephew. I don't have Wray and Nephew, so I'm using Rum Fire, but we're using some overproof Jamaican rum here, and we're gonna just put some on the peel like so. Just make sure that your fire is out, and then give it a sip. Ooh, sweeter than I would have thought. It's nice. You get the rum agricole, and then you get all of those nice kind of molasses-forward flavors from the sugar. The green chartreuse bringing in some really nice herbal flavor. It's a very, very strong and proofy. The Le Favorite that I used is 100 proof, so it's a little bit proofy, umphier. Yeah, I like this. This is a good cocktail. So there it is, guys. Bam, the Kill Devil. All right, guys, that's it. 5 more modern classic cocktails for you guys to make. And I just wanted to give a little shout out to Robert Simonson and his new book, Modern Classic Cocktails. it goes without saying that I've been highly referencing this book in these series of videos. And I mean, that kind of leads me to my pro tip that you guys should just be reading every single cocktail book and making every single cocktail you can if you want to get a little bit better at making drinks. Well, I'm going to help you with technique, and then you're going to be able to find out the backstories and a lot of the recipes for these cocktails. This book's fantastic. Pick it up on Amazon, and I'll see you guys on another time.